Alright, so first video of the week here. If you watched my last video, I went on a little rant about parts not showing up and having the engine already installed in there, and then remembering that I needed to take the weights off of the torque converter because it was off of a 400. So this one was off a cast crank 440, so it's got the weights too. And then thinking, oh, I might end up having to pull the engine back out to get to the weights. So I gave up on Saturday on God's day because I probably shouldn't have been out here anyways. It seems like that's when I get attacked the worst, is when I'm out here on God's day. I need to stop doing that. So I'm out here on Sunday, and yeah, things are moving along. I didn't have to pull the engine out. I was actually able to unbolt the transmission and slide it back far enough where I was able to get my grinder with the cutoff wheel and kind of cut up into the weights a little bit, and then my air chisel under one, and it popped it off. The second one wasn't popping off, so I got my big flat chisel and hammered up on it 3 or 4 times, and it popped off. So here I am. Both of the weights came off. Now I can move on. The transmission is bolted back. I'm going to leave the starter off for now because I went ahead and ordered the little bracket. See, so I don't know if you guys know about these, but on the original starter they're about this long, that big around, they're huge, but the wires bolt up over on the side over here, where these ones are pointed up towards the block. So that's what I was trying to explain. So there's an adapter you can buy that you bolt on here, and then it puts your mounting where you put your wires back here on the back where to clear everything. So I went ahead and ordered one of them, and that'll get my clearance I need for the starter. So with that said, this can go back in the box until the adapter piece comes in. And I actually replaced the bolts with these from a 440 source. So this is the new starter bolts for it, instead of having a stud and the larger bolt in the bottom. So that will go back in the box, and that will go back on a later date. I will be working on that today, but I will have to, as you can see, it has to be cleaned back up and repainted because that silicone, there was silicone on it and it's attacking it, so it ain't right. So quick sandblast on that and repaint it, and then I'll be getting it installed. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I got the upper transmission bolts all cleaned up and ready to go on, so I will be installing the upper transmission bolts. I will put the flywheel bolts on, not flywheel, torque converter bolts on, and put some Loctite on them, of course, before I tighten them down. And the transmission rear mount, got to put it back on, and just moving forward. God is gracious, and God always makes things happen Uh, Even if I got frustrated there for one day, I'm moving on. I'm not going to let the evil one detour me from getting this done. And then I had a few people commented on the last video, giving me a hey, what's up, everything's going to be alright, you'll get it done. And I appreciate that. So with that said, I'll get it done. So the muffler's supposed to be here on Monday, and we'll see how that goes. So today is just I'm going to get as much possible done, like putting the transmission upper bolts in, the torque converter bolts in, and moving on. I still need to go buy bolts for them, so I'm not even going to bother with that today. So just the little things that I can get done today, I'll get it done and move on. All right. Night night. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this is where I'm at with it. Let's see. We got like in the last video I told you, got the weights knocked off of the torque converter. Got all the torque converter, got all the bell housing bolts in, top and bottom. Did get the torque converters bolts on and Loctite it in. Cleaned up this bracket that goes to the transmission for the shifter. Cleaned up the dust cover and got it installed. And then I was going to do the brakes, rear brakes the other day, and they're, the parts are 50 some years old and they all had surface rust on them, and I could not bring myself to install them like that. So spent a lot of time today sandblasting them parts and putting them in the black oxide and then sealing them. So like this lever here, I don't know what it's called, but I black oxided that. The emergency brake lever, this part, this, the adjusters, and this piece here. So I put all them pieces in black oxide on both sides. I had some silver caliber paint. These were like blue, but the paint had started to come off a little bit. They're not that old, so I went ahead and just shot them with some silver caliper paint, so that should stay on there for a while. And digging through my spare brake parts that I've had, I came up with some new nails to go in and springs to hold everything in place. So with that said, all done here, and all done here. So I got all the rear brakes put together. I did have these springs new, just inside my don't throw nothing away packages or buckets, should I say. But yeah, that's where we're at, just getting all this put together, and got the adjusters all set where they need to be, and I still have to clean these brake drums up and get them painted, but that's where I'm at. Just thought I'd show you. So I did get some stuff accomplished today, and thankfully I did not have to pull the engine back out. So I did get the front bolt torqued on the front pulley here for the harmonic balancer bolt, crank bolt, whatever you want to call it. That's torqued now. And I think I'll do a little work up here before I call it a day. I'll get back with you on it, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start getting these brackets installed. And that'll probably be it for today. Probably get that installed. The transmission bracket for the shifter. Alright, get back with you. Okay, last video for today, I'm calling it. It's been a good productive day. I'm happy. No more sadness going on over here. But went ahead and pulled that old transmission pan off that had the holes knocked in it from pick and pull because they drain all the fluids out. Took the filter off. So I will be replacing the filter. And then, you know, I got this new pan to put on. So got that done. And then I went ahead and got my throttle bracket on here. The throttle bracket and the kick down bracket. Got them installed. Let's see. Thermostat, it's all installed. And then I had to rebend this line to fit the Edelbrock because it was actually straight back and over to fit the thermal quad. So I just had to do a little bending on it to get it back over where I want it. I'll probably have to do a little bit more tweaking up in this area with it, but it's real close to where I want it. So anyways, calling it a night. Thanks for watching. Later. Okay, Friday over here. So this is where I'm kind of at with it here. I've got some parts that are starting to arrive. Transmission filter, lower hose, upper hose. I had a set, but might as well put new on. Let's see. I got the cherry bombs in, spark plugs, spark plug wires, and also, while I was at it, I went ahead and got a distributor that will run off of my electronics from the factory, because I want to go back with factory electronics. I do have that ready to run distributor from 440 Source that I'll probably just use just to get the engine running and broke in. And then once it's broke in and everything, I will put the regular distributor back in when I put the wiring in, because I've got new engine wiring, and for the headlight wiring and all that stuff, I got new clips for the firewall, so they're not old and wore out looking. So it's kind of blew the dust out of here today, and I'm going to go down and get some bolts for my exhaust hanger for the other side and pull them factory mufflers off and see if I can't get these cherry bombs under here and get it all lined up where I want it. And meanwhile, I will be putting stuff on the engine here and there as it comes in. I will be doing that transmission pan and gasket and filter. And let's see. Oh, I got the nipples for the heater core hose on their way. And what else did I get? Oh yeah, I got the bracket for the starter, so I can put the starter back on. It's on its way. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Because shipping has kind of been crazy here lately. So, alright, that's where I'm at with it. I'll get back with you. I'm going to run down and grab some bolts for this thing. And I'll show you what I get done. Alright. Another quick little video here. I went ahead and bought some new clamps for the fuel lines and the radiator hoses, and here's the longer bolts that are going to go in this. And I forgot to show you guys, I'm not a professional and I can't afford no $1,000 spray gun, so this is what I'm going to be using, is the Black Widow. I've heard a lot of good things about them, so I went ahead and got two. And I got the old style and the new style, and I figured being it's been updated, I'll probably use this one for my clear and this one for my base coat. They're both 1.3 tips, so it should work out. I hope. We'll see how it goes. Just thought I'd show you them. Oh, and I got them off Marketplace. These were at Harbor Freight, I believe, for $179 a piece. I got both from a guy for 120 bucks, brand new, still sealed in the packs. So, alright, thought I'd show you. Alright, quick video here. Got some more stuff in the mail. Distributor hold down bracket. I'm gonna put that in paint. Nipples for the heater hoses, and this is that adapter that I was showing you guys, or telling you guys about, that moves the starter wires down to the front so that they're accessible and easy to get to. Just so happened that Ready Run distributor that I got, let me see if I can get it out of the box here real quick. It had the male type distributor cap on it, and I got the female type or male type that plug into the female type ends here. So I ended up having to buy another cap with the female parts to fit my wires, because when I put the stock distributor in, sounds like a lot, but the stock distributor has this type of cap on it, so that makes sense. After I pull this one out, I'll be able to just connect up and not have to worry about changing anything else. What I did get done yesterday is the exhaust is most of the way up under there. The glass packs are on, and I need to start tacking that together, but I'm not doing it today. Today's God's Day, Saturday. I did notice that I pulled my exhaust tips out, and the tailpipes are pointed down a little bit and will have to be bent up, so I can't put them on yet. I did put the spark plug wires in, and the spark plugs and wires are on. Just a little bit here and there. Transmission filter and pan is on. So, like I said, working that way. Just trying to get everything kind of on there where I can start up this engine. But not going to do anything today. Marketplace deal. Hold on, let me move this. Alright, Marketplace deal. I had an old tower that I'd bought a couple years back. I did some wheeling and dealing and sold it today, and he gave me this CB antenna as a partial trade. And that's the elements and that's the boom. That's not car related, but anyways, wanted to show you. So anyway, Saturday, I'm gonna get out of here. Not gonna let the evil one attack me. So I'll be getting out of here. It's supposed to be super nice out tomorrow anyways, and I'll be able to pop my garage door open and get out here and get some stuff done tomorrow. Alright, later. Okay, Sunday here. I don't have a plan of attack. And I think I should probably start having a plan of attack when I come out, instead of just going random. And I just don't feel like I get as much done if I come out all random and just start doing stuff. So I'm wanting maybe to get me a board to put over there, a dry erase board or something to put on the wall over there. That way I could start marking stuff on the dry erase board as I think about it, because I'm not getting any younger and my mind ain't quite as great as it used to be. So then I could, you know, mark it down and then dry erase it off as I'm going. But at the same time, I mean, I am coming down to the end of all this situation. But I still have interior to install. I have doors to paint inside. I mean, I got quite a bit to do. So that's what I was saying. I probably should get a dry erase board. You know, this hose needs to be replaced. That needs to be painted. Heater nipples need to be put in. I mean, there's a lot. So that said, I'll get back with you on it today. I'm just gonna work on a few things here and see what I can get done today. Gonna install those. Probably get this in paint. Install them on the starter and get the starter installed. Just little stuff, but everything counts. So I'll be out of here. Get with you. Alright, so this is where I'm at. I got the nipples installed for the heater hose and temperature sensor installed, and then I jumped over to put this bracket on that I was telling you to moves the mounting location back, because right here the engine is actually for the, what they call it, the freeze plug. Boss is like right here, so it would interfere with it. Hold on. Okay, yeah, like all aftermarket stuff, none of it is easy as ABC 1 2 3. So this stud here was sticking out quite a bit, so I had to hacksaw it off after putting the bolt on here so that this cap will fit on. But this bolt was underneath here that tightened the stud up, and then another nut went on top that you would tighten your cable up to. I had to remove this one because with this one on there, it pushed this one up too high to set all the way down on there. So that's what I had to do to get that right. So now the cap should snap on there. Should, I say. Hold on a second. Maybe we'll go this way here. There we go. So now the cap's on there. You don't have to worry about this arcing onto the engine, and your mounting places are back here at the back of the starter now. Right here in the open where you can get to it. So, alright, that's where I'm at with it. Let me get this starter on and, oh yeah, I don't know. Did I tell you I got my transmission lines are installed? And they didn't go right on either. I had to do some tweaking and bending on them to get them to fit. But they're in there. Okay, I'll get back with you, let you know where I'm at. Alright, I'll show you. Oh, excuse me. So, that's what I was talking about. See how close. Let me get it on camera here. Oh, pointed the wrong way. Hold on. Yeah. So you can see how close that rear, where that little indentation is there to the freeze plug. How close that would have been to tighten a bolt up. And that being a hot wire, you probably don't want it that close. So that brings it back here to the back of the starter, like I said, just to make it a lot easier to deal with. I still need to do this on Dusty. I haven't even done this on Dusty yet. I still need to do it because it's up in there right now. You think this thing don't have no room up in here? You ought to see up in that A body. This has got a million miles of room up in here compared to that A body. But anyways, I did put the dust cover on that's back behind here. It was kind of a pain because normally you just hang it on that stud up here, but I removed the stud and put bolts in. But it went in pretty easy. But all the dust covers are on. I want them to make sure of that because I don't want no dirt and dust get up in there and tear stuff up. Okay. With that said, I am going to go ahead and sandblast that distributor bracket and get it in paint, so when that time comes I'll be able to tighten the distributor down. I think I am going to attempt to pull the valve covers off and get the oil pumped up to the valve train today, just so I can get that section of it out of the way. And while I'm at it, I'll turn it to top dead center and hopefully drop a distributor in there. So that's where I'm at with it. I'll get back. Okay, and here we are. We got it pumped up to the top up here. I just wanted to make sure that I was going to hit oil to the top before I start this thing up. I ain't going to start it up today, but sometime this week I'm hoping. Alright, get back with you. Alright, last video here for the week. Got some time out here today. So this is what I've gotten done. Got the radiator hoses on. Oil's pumped up in the motor. the distributor drive and the distributor in. All the wires ran for the distributor. You can see I put the two nipples for the heater hoses here. I did have this one here, but it didn't work out because it was hitting here. So moved it over here where I can have a little bit of timing adjustment to be able to do some adjustment here. I got it on TDC. Valve covers are back on. All the fuel lines are connected. Transmission lines connected. Radiator hoses connected. And yeah, these whatever you want to call them, I'll say it because that's what I call them, is asshole clamps. Look what it done. But anyways, yeah, I got both of those clamps on, top and bottom. Let's see. All the throttle and kickdown brackets are on. I had to buy a new adapter for the Edelbrock to have the throttle and stuff in the right location. Got this bracket on for the springs, and these springs are a little bit tough, so I might change that up a little bit and put a different spring on it where it's not so tough. But other than that, I mean, I got to get some wire connectors to clean them up and get them lined up. I still need to tighten these flanges up, but I didn't do it because I just got some temporary cheap bolts in there right now. I'm going to get some grade 8s to put in them. And let's see, so that's where I'm at up here. I mean, I got the starter on, so I'm real close to being able to fire the engine up. Like I said before, I did get oil to the top, so I was happy to see that. I'm still figuring out a fan because this car is supposed to have a clutch fan on it, and I don't own one, but I got a line on one possibly, so I'll probably put this stiff fan back on here just to run it for now. Let's see. Yeah, like I was saying, fuel lines, the fuel line and the return are both hooked up. I haven't hooked up the vapor because I got to go get another hose because this hose is too small. I need to get a little bit bigger hose to fit to the vapor. I did get all these hooked up. While I was under here, I went ahead and put this line on, which you probably have to come back off, but it's out of my way. So I can clean up the rear end and shoot another coat on it. And let's see, yeah, so you know I got the exhaust mostly on, but I haven't finished up because the tailpipes are not quite where they need to be, like this one is, but that one over there is, that's all the way up, so it's got to be rebent. So did work on getting the emergency brake cable in because I want that to be in place whenever I'm working on the exhaust, so I can make sure I get it in the right place and it's not rubbing on the exhaust. So alright, that's where I'm at. Probably go ahead and call it for the day. Been out here most of the day, but I'm starting to get a little bored with it, so alright, that's where I'm at. I'm about ready to fire this thing up and see how she's gonna run. And then once all that's all done and I can get the engine broke in, I will be moving on back to the sanding and getting this thing ready for some paint. All right, night night.